And now, as everyone can see, it's time for my random questions. And we have two random questions to choose from today. And the first one is, and you guys get to choose which one you want to respond to. Do you seek revenge or do you look to your better angels when someone does you wrong? And the other one we get to choose from is I was watching this show and they referred to this uh, model as curvy. They use so many words to describe the fact that she was bigger than the other models. What are some of the things you've heard people say when they refer to bigger people, and what's your reaction to it? So those are my two questions. Two questions. We can either talk about revenge. Do you look to your better angels, or do you just, you know, seek revenge? And the other, we can talk about curvy elegance, is how I put it. Which one do you guys want to talk about? What do you think?
I wish I could talk about the both. Both of interesting topics. So we'll move to whoever want to answer.
Which one do you think we should talk about, Katie?
Um, I think I would have more experience with the modeling one. Maybe it's a good question because just because that's what I do. But
So what do you
they're very.
think, Jamel?
Like Clint said, they're both good topics. So um, I don't know. We can flip a coin.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard one. Yeah.
Yeah. Both they are very strong topics and interesting topics that
Yeah.
anyone would love to talk about when it comes
There's so
to
much.
overweight
Okay, so
modeling and revenge, you know.
I'll tell you what.
Interesting.
We'll make
I
it a
can
surprise.
choose.
I'll put each of you guys up on deck, and you can talk about the one that you want to talk about. But before we do that, I'm gonna throw one thing out there. The reason why I thought about revenge and our better angels is because I think it's time in our country for us to have a real talk about what manhood is and about what being a man is. And I'm not talking
Mhm.
about gender or any of that crazy stuff. It makes no sense that in the woods alone, a woman would fear a man more than a bear. That's a conversation that's going around the internet. And the more I thought about it, the more it made me think that would I look to my better angels or would I seek revenge if I saw some of the things that I've seen depicted online of the way men treat women? So I'm thinking that we need to have a real conversation about manhood, what it means to be a man, and how people should be treated. Not just men treating women or women treating men. We need to talk about how people need to be treated. And we need to do better. We've had proof of
Mhm.
that over this week, and I just think we need to do better. So I'm going to go ahead and put you up on deck, Katie, and you can choose the one you want to talk about, but you're on deck. Go for it.
Okay. Honestly, with how you explained it, I think actually that would probably be a more better topic to talk about because I have seen a few things on the internet, and it's not. First of all, I will start off by saying treating people in general. The first thing that I think that they teach us, even as a young kid, is to treat people how you want to be treated. So, as far as being a man and manly manhood, obviously I'm not a man, but I have also seen that there's also a lot of females that are trying to get that masculine quality, and a lot of times that even causes like issues with men in general, like in relationships and everything. And I think as a man, you if they are doing their part, they're doing what they're supposed to do, then as a female you should feel that you can have that feminine qualities and let that man do what he is supposed to be doing. The fact that we are in this generation of even being scared to have a man in the house, or like you say, even to be outside, it's so crazy. And for the Hispanic side of viewing, as a Latino woman there, that is something that is so important in that culture. Like, if you have a man, he is the man of the house. You are la femenina, la mujer de casa, the woman of the house. This man is my protector, my provider. There should not be fear whatsoever in anything. You guys should be able to feel safe. And the fact that that is something that is just so crazy, I don't know. That blows my mind a little bit.
Yeah, I am right there with you, Katie. I tell you, we have a lot of things in our society where we look at certain things in a certain way, and we never really focus on the important things. We focus on the way we see it instead of what's important. Jamel, I'm going to throw you up there on deck. Which one would you like to speak to?
I guess we might as well just keep going with the same topic that we're going with. Just from my upbringing and what I see now, it depends on how that kid that's becoming a man, what values he's been taught as he's been growing up, and what values that he chose to instill in himself. Because depending on culture, depending on the environment, and depending on everything that's trending right now, you look at a lot of guys out here, and I want to say pre-adults included, they're looking for somebody to take care of them now. It's like the role has kind of flipped, where women are the ones that we're supposed to be taking care of, but now men are looking for that mother figure to take care of them and let them sit back and just relax. So to me, there's so much going on, and depending on, who's mentoring who, there's going to be so much conflict and so much controversy. I feel that's going to be, in the world with that, because as we can see, who's really leading right now, who's really ready to step up and do what needs to be done. And it seems like the younger generation right now is not ready for that. I want to say a majority of them aren't ready for that. So,
And that's the thing you just said there, Jamel. That strikes me at home. It strikes me where I live. Because even if it was all a lie, even if it was all just something that wasn't true, as I was growing up, we had things that we could look to. We only had a certain number of channels on the TV. There was no internet. There was no Twitter. There was no social media. And when we looked at leaders, when we looked at our politicians, when we looked at our entertainers, everyone was on the same script. Even if it was a lie, everyone was on the same script, so that as we were growing up, there was a certain way we saw life. And there's a certain way we thought about our place in that life. I think a lot of people don't know where their place is in this life because there's nothing they can look to that stands the test of time. Nothing. It's like everything is being broken down. And I'm hoping that in our small way, we can change that. So Clint, sorry to take some of your thunder, but I'm going to throw you up on stage. What are your thoughts today on our
manhood? Well, I'm just going to dwell on manhood. when the terms and the terms when people say manhood, manhood, I see it more as a noun, a name. Is the opposite of being a boy. And when you're a boy, you do certain things a certain way, because it's all about growing up. It's a growing up process. You learn things along the way, and it's all of becoming a man, which we use the term our manhood, where we're not supposed to be going back and doing things like the same mistakes what we did as a child, because it's all supposed to be like a learning experience. So when you become a man now, you got a lot of responsibilities. You see things a different way. Your back's supposed to be stronger. You're supposed to be able to turn and take the bullets, and turn the other cheek without striking at someone, without taking revenge on certain things, because you know what's going to be the process of it. So when it comes to being a man, it's all about being the stronger person, the person who provides, the person who forgives. Even though it's going to have some people who do certain things to us and so on, and we're still going to try to find a way how we could, to get back at that person. And to me, the best thing is to just turn another cheek and see yourself as that person. Will you like to be treated that way? And just let your angel or whosoever you pray to, your God, to guide you to make the right decision without choosing the bad route and taking revenge on something because of someone hurt you. You want them to feel that same way too. Because just remember, karma is always a bitch.
Oh yeah.
Just
Yeah.
real quick, I'm gonna piggyback off of that. You also got to realize too is that depending on the environment that you grew up in, and depending on the culture, you got to look at this too, mental health, because there's so much pressure that even if they want to do what they want to do, it depends on how much. The term I'll use is it takes a village to raise a child. So that is not surrounded by people that are uplifting them and guiding them and showing them that they can do it, to give them a stronger will. Mental health is going to break them down easily because they don't know how they're going to survive in the world. That's why a lot of people are looking for others to take care of them and help, and they just sit back, because nowadays it seems like the trend is fast money is the way to go. If you can make it fast, you're good.
Then I could always add back to what you're saying.
Not building up on something. When you can build up a foundation and build up on it, that lasts much longer. And you ain't have to worry about it coming fast, because it's just going to come consistently for the rest of your life.
And that's what we're aiming for, is to be able to build doing the things we love and creating the art we want to create, so that hopefully we give people something that they can look up to. And the best part is our success, they can be a part of it. They can be a part of our success. And we'll talk about that later on the show. But before we move on, did anyone have anything else to add?
Okay.
I can
Go
try
ahead,
to
Katie.
try to put some Spanglish in there, but I think based off of what Jay was saying before, that big switch of roles has a big part of it, especially with the females now. I think it's just they try to carry that role now. It's like, oh, I'm the queen and I'm independent. I don't need nobody. So I'm really the man of the house. And I think there's a boundary. I think it's good to love yourself and see yourself as a queen and be that independent woman. but also we need to learn that if you are planning, because God created woman and man, if you are planning to be with a partner, you need to learn as a woman to step down and not give that man the respect to be the man of the house, to be the protector and the provider, as Clint was saying. So it's just, I think that that role that Jay was saying, that femininity, like the women of being the more independent and the queen, I think that is taking over so much, and that is what is dying down, that kind of manhood thing de estar hombre de casa. Hay que respetar tu marido, tu hombre, tu esposo, lo que sea, pero hay que respetar y ser cuando dejar su hombre a ser hombre de casa, y que él te protege y te da todo lo que necesitas y te quedas al lado. To respect, just respect the boundaries in general.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say one thing. In all of the different relationships that I've been in, I try to respect that other person the way I want to be respected. And I try to make sure that we have each other's back and we take care of each other. And it's a hard thing to find, but when you find it, you know you have the right thing. And that's the last thing I'll say. When you know it's right, it's right.
Yeah.
And when it's wrong, you know that too. And sometimes when it's wrong, you just need to cut bait. You need
Yeah.
to cut that bait and and do what's best for you. And if there's anyone out there who feels they're in that situation where they need to cut bait, just know that there are people out there to help. And when it's time to cut bait, it's time to cut bait.
Yes.
And now, if no one has anything else to add, we're going to go on with the show.